My mom had an affair, and I am the result. My dad found out and told me that he will no longer support me. That's basically the summary. I have no idea how to process all of this, and I'm completely unprepared for what comes next. Both my older brother and sister went to the same university. My brother graduated 2 years ago. My sister will graduate in 2 years. Both had their university expenses paid by our dad, including rent, food, their cars, pocket money, whatever. My brother now has a job, his own place, lives with his fiancée, and has his life in order. My sister already has a good job, and my dad still pays almost everything for her. I got accepted into the same university, which was always the plan, and I was looking forward to talking with my parents about the next steps and asking for their help like they did with my siblings. I always assumed they had money saved for my university, just like they did for my siblings. Instead, I was met with a story about my mom's infidelity, how I am the result of her affair, and how my dad is no longer willing to support me. Going forward, Dad told me that my mom had 18 years to inform me and prepare me for the future, but obviously, she never did. He said it was never his place to say anything since I am not his child, and he didn't want to interfere with my mom's upbringing. Apparently, my grandparents knew I was not my dad's biological son, but they didn't bother to tell me either. My siblings had no idea and are as shocked as I am because there was never a hint that something was wrong. Maybe I'm naive, but I always thought I had a great relationship with my dad. We watched sports together, go fishing together, and he tutored me when I had trouble with math. Dad is an engineer, he taught me how to drive. I never had a clue that he harbored any resentment towards me. I mean, he gave me my name and explained its meaning, and he was very proud of it. It's a story he tells from time to time. He likes to talk about things like that about me. My mom never said a word about anything, and apparently, she was supposed to talk to me, but she never did. I feel abandoned and unprepared for what comes next. I'm not even sure if I can go to university. I always assumed my parents would pay for it. I've never had a job, and I'm not sure what job I could get to support myself while studying. I have no idea how to apply for loans. All my mom has done is cry and apologize, but nothing of substance. She has no idea how to help me. I don't even know if I'm welcome at home. Everything is up in the air. I feel ashamed to leave my room, and if they ask me to move out, I don't know where to go. I have no savings, maybe 370 euros in total. I'm angry at my mom. I'm confused about where I stand with my dad. There's a man out there who is my father, who never wanted anything to do with me. I feel rejected and have no idea what to do to fix this situation. Does anyone have any ideas on what to do here? Do I apologize to my dad? What do I say? I don't know. I've been stuck in my room for the past few days, reading and browsing Reddit. I have no idea what to do. Edit. The comments are coming in faster than I can respond, but I am making a list with all the advice on financial aid, health insurance, getting my own phone plan, etc. Things I hadn't even thought about before. Thanks, everyone. I'll try to respond as much as I can, but there are more comments than I can handle. Update. Sorry for disappearing. Nothing bad happened to me. I managed to talk to my mom yesterday, but chickened out halfway through what I had to say. The good news is that they're not kicking me out or disowning me. Thanks for all your support, everyone. I will move forward and call financial aid at my university in a few hours and see what happens from there. My grandfather had a stroke a week ago, and my dad is helping my grandma organize a live-in nurse, so he wasn't around yesterday. I'll let you know how it goes. Thanks again. Update 2. Sorry for not updating. My grandfather passed away yesterday morning. Nothing happened to me, but my situation is a secondary concern right now. Anyway, I think I'll be okay. Thanks to your incredible support and help, my sister is aware of everything and told me not to worry, that she'll support me and that I can count on her. I promise to update when and if there's any significant change. Right now, I need to support my grandma. Thanks again, everyone. Update 3. Hi everyone. An update has already been posted. Please don't send me more angry messages. Update 4. The reaction to my original post put an uncomfortable amount of pressure on me to write this update. I'm not sure if it's what you want to hear, but things are more or less returning to a normal state considering other events. Unfortunately, my grandfather passed away earlier this week, and I'm still processing it. I managed to talk with my mom and dad, and now I know where I stand with them and my siblings. I'm not sure I would have had the courage to say what I needed to say if it wasn't for the amount of help and advice in the comments. I think it's safe to say that both parents love me, and what happened 2 weeks ago was an overreaction to a fight between my parents. It makes me uncomfortable knowing that I'm not aware of my own surroundings, but a stranger in the comments can tell me what's going on in my life with just a few lines of text from me. Many comments were spot on about what's going on in my life. I've read about 40% of the comments so far, but have given up. There are too many to keep up with. The bottom line is that I'm definitely going to university. It will be the university I always wanted to go to, and I'll have the same experience as my siblings. The money to pay for all this is already there. My family is not going broke as suggested. My dad simply had a mental crisis with all the issues around my grandfather and his fight with my mom. Even if my dad had gone ahead with his decision, my grandma let me know that my grandfather left us an amount to my siblings and me that will have to split between the three of us, but it's enough to pay for my university studies. What started all the commotion was poor timing on my part. My parents had just fought, and then I came along saying, "Hey, pay for my university." My parents were talking about us, their children, and Mom said something like, "Thinking you wanted to break up when I came back pregnant," or something like that. I wasn't there. This is what she told me. I guess Dad was talking about how proud he was of his kids, and Mom wanted to express her gratitude because Dad raised me as his own, and Dad took it as the affair was the best decision I ever made or something like that, and their fight escalated from there. Mom told Dad something like, "Oh, what makes you think any of them are yours?" Yeah, it went downhill from there quickly. Shortly after that, I appeared, and here I am. Mom and Dad have reconciled since then. Mom is still a mess. Dad is not handling my grandfather's death well either. I talked with my siblings, and my sister found out and came here while calling my parents furiously. My brother was calmer but made his feelings known in clear terms as well once he got home. My grandfather's death somehow kept tempers calm, I guess, and shifted attention to dealing with that. Reading the comments was an eye-opening experience. I felt unprepared for the outside world. Many have asked how I had no idea how to apply for loans or scholarships. Well, in my defense, when you spend year after year knowing you don't have to worry about anything, that your university is already paid for, you really don't have to worry about anything else. Of course, I knew there were loans and other things that students have to be aware of, but they didn't apply to me. I went from I'm going to university, can't wait to you're not my son, and I won't pay for your university in less than 24 hours. Others have been prepared for this. At least they knew they had to get a loan or find a job, look for a place to live, and so on. For me, it was a sudden shift in reality. Reviewing the comments, I managed to make a list with several tips and tricks on what jobs are available for students, how to find a place to live, how to get a credit card, a bank account, a cell phone plan, and so on. Really good stuff that I think will help me even after things return to normal. My parents have been called more names than they have, and it was uncomfortable to read that, and I haven't even read all the comments. I can't imagine what else is in the comments waiting. Dad is very sorry, apologizes for his reaction and behavior. I understand his reaction, but I still feel hurt by it. I understand he wasn't in his best mental state, but I can't control my feelings either. We'll be okay, and this hasn't irreparably damaged our relationship. Mom hasn't handled all this as well, but she's recovering and answered some more questions for me. When Mom had an affair years ago and got pregnant with me, my parents started to divorce. Mom moved in with the man she had the affair with, but after a few months, that guy decided he didn't want anything to do with it, kicked Mom out, and she had nowhere to go. So my grandparents took her in because she was still the mother of their grandchildren. Mom and Dad got back together after a lot of work. Dad accepted me as his own child, and that's how my life has been since then. The man who is my biological father is not in the picture. Dad really didn't know who he was, and Mom hasn't seen or heard from him since then. He knew perfectly well that Mom was pregnant with his child. I guess he had more important things to do, but it doesn't seem like he was about to cure world hunger. She met him in a bar, not at a fundraiser, and I don't feel the need to know more about who he is. I've thought about the matter the last 2 weeks since I found out about everything, and I really haven't felt the desire to know who he is, where he is, if he's still alive, if I have other siblings out there. It was suggested that I buy a 23andMe DNA kit. Maybe I could find him that way, but I think I'll avoid doing this specifically to not find him or have him find me. As far as I'm concerned, I have a mom and a dad and a brother and a sister, and that's my family. Going forward, I plan to get a job and become more independent, but not in an attempt to distance myself from my family, but to feel like I wouldn't be lost in the world if my family suddenly disappeared. My mom admits that they've spoiled me a lot more than my siblings and that they should have prepared me more for what's to come. I've learned where I stand with my family, and it's safe to say that I'm loved and have options. I thought I was isolated, but my world is broader than I thought. Grandparents, siblings, my aunt, cousins, all support me. I think my parents are human and make mistakes, and although this wasn't their best moment, I think I'll see all this as nothing more than a weak moment in an otherwise wonderful relationship. Thank you. Edit. In my family's culture, grandparents call their grandchildren nieces and nephews too. Please stop calling me names. It wasn't a mistake.